So here we are, final exam, prompt. Congratulations, we're almost done. Let's get into it. One thing I tried to do with this prompt, I'll just take a quick scroll through it, pardon me. Um, I tried to make it brief. I tried to simplify it. I know some of my prompts can be quite long and long. Um, so hopefully this one's a little more straightforward. I do not intend on um, overburdening you during finals week. I know you got other classes. I know you got other things going on, life, etc. But this is our moment. This is our moment to take everything that we've done so far this semester, all of the skills and things that we've learned, and um, put it on display. So I hope that's how it works out for you. Um, we are with our final exam satisfying objective 3 in our syllabus. In case anybody was wondering. And just to start off like we do with our prompts in a sort of general way, you'll compose an argument about AI and the writing classroom. So that's what we're focusing on. Key in on the word argument, how um, focused we have been on that in the last few assignments we've done in class. So bring your best argument game you can. And about this AI in the writing classroom. The discipline paper, as you'll recall, was about AI in higher ed in general. So this might seem a little familiar, and that's why. But we're going to take a bit of a different approach here. One of the things that got me thinking about this is I've been doing a lot of thinking and a little bit of writing lately on that AI in higher ed, and in my case, in our case, in the writing classroom. Educators, scholars, researchers, they're all talking about it. They're all making plans. They're all going to battle with each other. But we don't often hear from students. And I think that's a huge, huge missed opportunity. I know based on our discussions in class throughout the semester that you all have plenty to say about it. So I want some of that to happen here. I want you to carefully consider the things that I'm going to ask you to consider with this prompt. And I want you to express yourself, make your voice heard on this matter. Um, so this is really the key question here. How AI should be used and not used in the writing classroom. Um, and I really I want you to address both of these things. I think it'll help set you up for argumentation. And I think just because you say one thing should be done doesn't automatically mean that the other thing shouldn't be done. I want you to be clear in what you mean. That's part of constructing your argument. Um, so here are some key considerations here. I want you to use your experiences. As you may recall from our slide deck previously, I want you to call on your experiences in class over the semester. Use your experiences, use moments, assignments, occurrences in class as you would, let's say, outside research or outside sources. I'm not forbidding you to use outside sources, by the way, in this paper. It's just you don't need to. I'm not going to require it. Um, I think you can draw on your experience in our class and have that be more than sufficient to substantiate your argument. If you really want to go digging around for sources, that's fine, but it's to me it's just I don't need it. I don't need to see it from you. I don't think you need to do it. But if you have some burning source that you need to bring into your discussion, that's fine. Just please don't make the mistake of allowing your source to speak for you. If you bring in a source or two, um, Use it strategically. Make sure you discuss it at length, elaborate and expand. Really relate it to the argument that you're developing. Okay. Um, so draw on your experiences in class, draw on your broader educational experiences. It doesn't have to exclusively be from our class. I want you to definitely talk about our class, but if you have a point or two you want to make about just broader educational experience, that's okay too. Um, of course, bring in your values, your ethics, your goals. All these things matter to this discussion, to your argument. And we're gonna dabble a little bit more with your discipline. So this is also gonna be a little familiar, harkening back to your discipline paper. In this section here, all I'm trying to say with all this stuff is, in the name of trying to simplify this prompt so it doesn't feel overwhelming, I just dispensed with all of the things that I want you to do in the intro and in the body and etc. Just know, hmm, understand this. Just because I didn't spell it out doesn't mean it's not expected. Here's the sort of disclaimer here. I'm expecting you to situate your reader effectively in the introduction. I'm expecting a focused, tension-filled thesis statement. I'm expecting narrowly tailored topic sentences that resonate with your thesis statement, wherein you assert a claim and you identify one area from your intro, from your thesis that you're going to focus on per body paragraph. I want you to do all the stuff we've been working on all semester. I'm just not spelling it out in painstaking detail, right? In addition to all the stuff we're supposed to do as you compose your argument about the role AI should play and should not play in the writing classroom, here are um, here are some other considerations. Please don't mistake these as some kind of, these are not sections that you're supposed to write in your paper or anything like that. As you craft your argument, these are things to be aware of. Take a position, take a stance on this matter, what AI should be used for, what it shouldn't be used for. Remind your reader of this position throughout your paper. Um, Hold it up as part of your argument regularly throughout your writing. Don't let this fall from view for too long as you move through your paper. You'll want to develop a framework, sort of what we talked about in our slide deck earlier. You'll want to, as you think of how you're going to respond to this question, and you start to think of moments or experiences or occurrences from our class, probably something like this, a framework, a theme, something that can cohesively hold together your experiences in class to support your argument to that question. Something like this will probably emerge. It will definitely emerge. And go with it. Use this to frame your argument. These are just examples. Um, please don't think that this is some kind of exhaustive list. This is just to get you going, to get you thinking. Um, when it comes to the actual evidence, the actual things that you're going to talk about in the body of your argument, when when you say that, AI, I argue that AI ought to be used. Um, I argue that its role in the writing classroom should be blank, whatever you're going to argue, because of the experience I had writing my term papers, or because um, of how I utilize it as a tool, completing my regular assignments, whatever it happens to be. Um, pardon me, these experiences, these moments, these occurrences in class, they're going to become your evidence, right? So eh, spell this out, explain it. Um, don't be very vague in general here. Don't make claims like, well, based on the work that I did in the class over the semester. That's far too vague, far too general. Be very specific here in spelling this out. All right. I want to talk about this discipline angle here. I toiled with this for a while. Um, I was just gonna totally not do this, but I trust you. I trust you all to, be adults about this. I want you to. So when I thought about the way, all of our assignments have gone this semester, I really liked a lot of what you all did with your discipline papers. I think you generated some really interesting perspectives and developed some really interesting insights. And I don't think that necessarily needs to stop. And so I want to invite you to bring some of that momentum here to this final exam. Here's the problem. What I do not want to see in this highlighted area, I do not want to see you copying and pasting entire passages or sections from your discipline paper here. That's not what this is. If here's an example. If when you went into that discipline paper, maybe you didn't know your discipline as well as you thought you did, or your major or your field. Maybe by doing a little research and writing about it, maybe you uncovered something that really sparked even more interest or confirmed the interest that you already had. That discovery or that line of thinking or that way of approaching solving problems, for example, bring that approach, bring that sort of philosophy, disciplinary philosophy to bear on this paper and allow it to inform how you um, craft and develop and proceed with your argument. I think that could be a very, very useful perspective in responding to this type of question. Excuse me. So, again, talk about your discipline right from that perspective. But please do not think that you can just clone stamp your discipline paper here. That will be a really big missed opportunity, and that'll probably score very low. So just keep that in mind. Um, one last thing I want to mention here, in terms of developing argumentation, um, we've talked about this before, previous papers. Please try not to limit yourself to relegating your discussion of different points of view into one section or especially one paragraph late in your paper. If that's the only place you're going to do it, well, it is what it is, and that's better than nothing. But what I'm inviting you to do is try to try to engage with different points of view, with adversarial ways of seeing your points or the claims that you're making or the argument that you're making. Try to take opportunities really throughout your paper in every body paragraph. It's one of the most effective ways to bring to cultivate, to generate argumentation. So this try to understand that tension, that friction as existing throughout your writing, not just in one space toward the end, okay? Um, Here's the good news probably for some of you. Um, I'm not requiring a full-on paper like we've been doing all semester. Um, this is a final exam. We have less time to complete it. You have other major competing priorities and obligations. So Um, I'm relaxing the requirement a little bit here. Um, pardon me. It's still something. I mean, this is 3 pages of not nothing. Um, and that's just the bare minimum, all right? Um, what I expect, as I think about this prompt, what I really expect is probably around 4 full pages, between 3 and 4, probably closer to 4, to really do all the stuff that we need to do in this prompt and to do it effectively. If you find yourself writing a ton, 7, 8 pages, that's you're probably doing too much. I'm not gonna grade you down for it, but um, just I'm not trying to give you a bunch of whole new work here. Again, this is final exam, get it done. Here's the due date. I think you got this. I know you got this. Be in touch with me. Got any questions, comments, concerns? Can't say that I'll see you in class because we're almost done. So, I will wish you well. You're gonna do great. I'll probably I'll probably have a couple more things to say, but I'll do that in an email or a course announcement as the time gets closer. Okay,